I met a homeless man today. He told me his name was Richard. I don't remember the rest of his name, but he was a junior. Richard something something Jr. He was despondent. He was sad. I spoke to him for an hour and a half. By the end of it, he believed that I had turned his life around. The only thing that can turn his life around is him. I wish the best for him, and I hope he tries. First, I met him, and I could hear the song coming off of him, figuratively, of course. And I told him many stories. I just wanted him to be happy. But if I was going to play a song to represent who he is, it would sound something like this. That was his life story. That was his personality. That was who he was. He was an open fifth. He was nothing. He was just a homeless man. Then I sat down and I started talking to him. And suddenly he went from just this no one. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was being comfortable. He established that he was in minor. I asked him why he was homeless. I told him to relax. He seemed to be content with himself, but not really doing anything. So I asked him to sit in lotus position. I talked to him for an hour and 40 minutes. He had two modes. Sad. Anxious. Something strange. I told him something he didn't believe. He didn't understand. And then he shut down. So then I grabbed his attention very quick. He shut down. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. And I didn't know what to do, but I was trying. It was kind of a wasted effort. Could not seem to escape this psychological torture that he put himself in, even when I gave him the out. give him $20. And I said, not yet, but I will. And he became comfortable. But then I told him something strange. It made him anxious. He forgot some of the things that I had said a minute ago. Behavioralistic therapies. I manipulated him. And I started to doubt myself. And I said, no, for the sake of, I don't know, good. Showed him a recording of myself playing piano, and he seemed impressed, and he kept repeatedly saying, "You're a very intelligent man. You know that. You're very intelligent." So why was that man sad? Why is my music sad? Why not? I said to the man, "I can play you a perfect song." And I did. That's the whole song. I can play it again. It only gets good when you put a little spice on it. receive. But he didn't really believe me, but he was listening because he had nothing else to do. And then suddenly, he laughed. And he didn't know how to laugh, so he laughed really loud. He just jammed it out, and I told him to relax and just, sometimes it's okay to be sad. Either. So I started to tell him who was Jesus Christ. He was just another person. And then I left. I asked him his name. He didn't ask me mine. I just hope he doesn't